All right, Ripple XRP holders, welcome back to the channel. So we have a lot to talk about in today's video. What's happening with Binance, what's happening with Kraken, the SEC, regulation, what this means, how to prepare, because there's a war that's happening right now in crypto, and first they laugh at you, then they fight you, and then you win. And so what this is leading to is the biggest bull run of all time in terms of liquidity and money flowing in the market. But first, this demand destroying events. What do those look like? We talked about this yesterday. Binance, the world's largest crypto exchange, faced charges from the SEC for breaking sanctions and money transmitting laws and agreeing to pay a $4.3 billion settlement. And founder and CEO CZ, he pleaded guilty, agreeing to pay a $50 million fine and step down as CEO. Now, if you guys have been subscribed to the channel for a long period of time, if you haven't been subscribed, subscribe right now, because we talked about this a long time ago with CZ saying that he would be willing to step down when regulation starts coming into the industry. And so now that it's happening, this is not a surprise. We expected this. And Binance was accused of lacking an anti-money laundering program, operating without a money transmission license, and violating sanctions laws. Now, you guys know that the SEC went after Coinbase as well, too, earlier this summer. And now Binance, getting attacked right now specifically, will appoint a compliance monitor for about 3 years and report to the U.S. government, where CZ is banned from managing Binance for 3 years after the monitor's appointment. And so this case follows other recent actions against other crypto figures, like you see what happened with FTX, his collapse. And CZ's approach was better to ask for forgiveness than permission, and risking violations of U.S. laws, including sanctions, is what he was risking. The Department of Justice announced significant cryptocurrency enforcement actions tied to its investigation into Binance, and Bloomberg reported the $4 billion fine and deferred prosecution agreement. So also in the space, and then we're going to get into what this means for you and why this is happening right now, because Kraken, another crypto exchange, is facing accusations from the SEC of operating without proper registration as a securities business in the U.S., joining Coinbase and Binance and their allegations. And the SEC alleges that Kraken commingled customer and corporate funds, operating as an unregistered broker, clearing agency, and dealer. And so they're putting the same charges, on these exchanges, and they're just doing this for a specific reason I'm going to share with you guys, because the SEC claims that Kraken created a significant risk by commingling up to $33 billion in customer crypto with its corporate assets and holding customer cash at times. And the SEC listed various tokens as unregistered securities, including Dash, Atom, Algorand, Matic, Solana, Near Protocol, Chiliz, ICP, Voyager, Nexo, Cardano, Filecoin, Sandbox, Decentraland, Axie Infinity, and among others. And they seek to permanently ban Kraken from operating as an unregistered exchange, along with fines and restitution of ill-gotten gains. Now, it's interesting how Ethereum and Chainlink weren't listed, and tons of other projects as well too. But Kraken's disputing the SEC's claims, advocating for regulatory clarity through congressional action. So they're gonna have to fight the SEC, whereas CZ, is just agreeing to step down. And there's good news and there's bad news to this. The bad news is this obviously puts a boot on crypto globally, because the US is dragging its feet with the SEC, because the problem is the SEC claims that, all these altcoins are securities. And when an exchange lists these altcoins and has it on their exchange, and even if they meet with the SEC is not giving clear guidelines, because when a company asks for clear rules for regulation, the SEC just says, come in and get registered. And so the reason for this is simple on why the SEC doesn't want to give clear guidelines. It's two words: corruption and control. The SEC wants as many of these projects that would be classified as commodities and under purview of the CFTC to be categorized as securities, so they can control them and monitor them, versus the CFTC having that regulatory oversight. And the good news here is XRP is nowhere on their list, because they lost their lawsuit against Ripple. And I've been talking about this for years. The safest play and the best play in crypto by far for altcoins specifically is XRP, because the SEC has no control over it, and they've already went through their lengthy lawsuit. A lot of these other projects, guys, that are getting attacked right now are going to have to go through some lengthy lawsuits, and the only thing that they can do, the SEC, is stifle the rest of the industry, which obviously sucks because it creates fear in the markets, which holds back investors from buying. You know, it slows down the bull run. You see temporary corrections of 5, 10, 15, 20%, but that's also the good news there too, because that's exactly what the elite want. The sharks bite when there's blood in the water. So if stuff like this makes you afraid to invest, then you're not a shark, okay? You're a fish, you're a crab, or you might be plankton on the side of the rock with the amount of money that you're investing. Because if you're dealing with less than $1 million in these markets right now, you're not a shark. And the elite, like, you know, Larry Fink, that's the CEO of BlackRock, is a killer whale. So they want all of the sharks, they want all the fish, and they want all the other small investors in the sea of liquidity, so to speak, to sell so they can buy up your bags. And I posted a video yesterday about this. It's called Demand Destroying Events, from an amazing interview from Black Swan Capitalist. And we've been talking about this for years, where they do this on purpose to shake people out. And they also create diversions as well too. For example, you know, Larry Fink, he said in 2017 that there was no demand from institutional investors to dive into crypto. And now he's completely turned 180 and said, we're seeing demand all across the globe for crypto right now. And so because there's demand all across the globe, when a lawsuit like this hits against an exchange, what do they want? Well, they want the top exchange in the world to surrender the white flag so somebody can step in that's a part of their inner circle to control the markets and basically allow their rich friends to get wealthy. It's how the game's been working for years, and they need to put this narrative out there that crypto is too risky to invest in, and you know, it's illegal, and oh, there's money laundering, and there's a lot of money laundering happening. When you look at the amount of money that has actually been laundered through traditional fiat, it's astronomical compared to crypto. Crypto only is less than a $2 trillion industry. You look at the derivatives market, you know what, and arguably a quadrillion dollars. You look at the daily foreign exchange market, very, very corrupt, guys. So for those of you out there that are looking at this right now and getting excited, that's how sharks think, okay? In order to become a shark, you have to think how sharks think. And when there's blood in the water, you eat. So what we're doing is we're preparing by backing up our truck and diversifying. Again, don't buy, don't sell anything we talk about on our channel. It's purely for educational purposes only, but we're going to be helping business owners save money on every single employee that they have. So if you guys want to learn about that, then feel free to reach out on Instagram. Again, go to bullrunners.com. We're putting together a financial education platform too, to give you guys the news on a daily basis of what's taking place in written format and education, you know, all the material that you need to be able to get wealthy. Because if you're not a millionaire yet, if you're not the first millionaire in your family tree, you know, the crypto industry, the blockchain industry is how you're going to do it. And the key here is to be early and to be a part of the narratives that are going to see the majority of the liquidity and the capital inflow. And crypto gaming is one of those narratives. Artificial intelligence is one of those narratives. Tokenizing real world assets is one of those narratives, like real estate. BlackRock even said it themselves. They're planning on owning about 60% of all the real estate, you know, residential real estate in the United States, somewhere around there. And so you will own nothing and you will be happy. That is the New World Order plan leading to CBDCs. The ISO 20022, you know, is going live this month, and the largest banks are already positioning themselves to benefit from it. But there needs to be a ledger that's going to bridge CBDCs globally, and XRP ledger is that ledger, we believe. So I'm going to give away 100 XRP. Again, like this video, guys. Comment 777 below and message me on Instagram 777, and then I'll announce the winner in my next video. And if you guys want to see what we're about to launch, feel free to reach out, or you can go to bullrunners.com, because we're going to be backing up our trucks all the way to the bank, grabbing the bags, packing them, stacking them, leaving no bags left behind, because we believe the spending power of the dollar is going to continue to go down in value. That's a fact based on inflation. Blockchain technology, distributed ledger technology is going up in interest. That's the truth. And together, we're going camping on the beaches of the moon. If you want to be able to accumulate more real estate, if you want to be able to accumulate more real world assets, then you need passive income on the front end. So stay tuned. We're going to be launching something very, very powerful to help you guys create more passive income for yourself. As always, I'll see you on the next video. I'll see you on bullrunners.com. You know what to do. Stay bullish.